Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Den of DBZ All-Star. DBZ All-Star here, or Steve if you prefer. And I'm here to talk about my latest haul from my local comic book store, Titan Moon Comics, here in Austin, Texas. So let's get started with DC, move on to the Independents, move on to Marvel, and I'm going to try something a little bit different and talk about some highlights this week. So let's get started. So first off, for the Independents and for DC, we have Batman: The Adventures Continue, Season 3. This is issue 7. Beautiful cover art for these. Really hope we get a Season 4. And then this is Catwoman Uncovered, basically a collection of various covers featuring Catwoman. This is the Art Germ foil variant. We have Creed, next round, issue 3, 4. Again, for those who haven't been watching my videos, this is a series that takes place about 10 years after the events of Creed 3 and focuses on a particular character highlighted in the film franchise, living up to the legacy set before them while forging their own legacy, which is kind of the theme of the Creed film franchise. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter, issue 3. This series has just been a lot of fun. This is a partnership between Udon and IDW. And yeah, both sets of characters get to interact in some interesting ways. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I hope it sticks the landing. Let's move on to Marvel. So for Marvel, we have Amazing Spider-Man issue 32. This is kicking off the latest arc following the extra-sized issue 31, which kind of acted as a prelude to Gang War, as well as a couple other upcoming events and series, such as the Spider-Woman miniseries that will be tied into Gang War. This is the standard cover, featuring Kraven the Hunter, who is actually a clone/son of the original Kraven the Hunter, Queen Goblin, and Spider-Man in his Oscorp uniform. We have the Disney 100 variant. I have really been enjoying these. Have Daisy as Spider-Gwen here. Alright, this almost made it into the highlights, but I didn't want to overdo the highlight section. This is the Immortal Thor by Al Ewing. Picking up after the run that started off being written by Donny Cates before his unfortunate medical issues. And this is Ewing taking up a challenge he's made to himself. Get Thor both back to basics as well as take him in a different direction. He challenged himself to take another character, as he did with Hulk, and just make him timeless and more modern. This is off to a pretty fun start, so I think he will give us something to enjoy throughout the years, but we'll see what happens. We have Planet of the Apes issue 5. Was not aware when they announced this that this was a limited series, but so far it looks like this is indeed a limited series. The series has been absolutely wonderful. I hope it comes back with another set of issues like they've been doing with Predator and Alien under the latest imprint, the 20th Century Studios imprint. Both those titles joined when Planet of the Apes launched earlier this year. But yeah, this has been great. Kind of takes place between the films of the latest trilogy and details the downfall of man as well as the rise of the Age of Apes. Monty in the background growling because he's not getting enough attention right now and might not be a fan of the franchise, but that is not allowed in this household. That is one of my favorite sci-fi franchises. Moving on, we have Ultimate Invasion by Jonathan Hickman, Brian Hitch. This is issue 3. This is not what we were led to expect, which is pretty typical of Jonathan Hickman's works. And yeah, I really can't say anything about this other than it's been interesting and it's taken some pretty stirring directions. Big fan so far. Has one more issue, and then we've got an Ultimate Universe one-shot coming out in the fall that is supposed to kickstart the new version of the Ultimate Universe. We'll see how it goes. Moving on to my Fall of X titles. My local comic book store, again, Titan Moon Comics. They have me down for all of Fall of X, just to keep me up to date, and that's perfectly fine. This is Alpha Flight issue 1. Big fan of Alpha Flight. Have this beautiful Leonard Kirk cover here. Wish we could get another ongoing off the ground. We'll see how it goes, though. Fall of X has been a lot of fun. We have Dark X-Men, issue 1. Madeline Pryor leading a team of her own style of X-Men in the aftermath of the Hellfire Gala. Invincible Iron Man issue 9. This is technically part of the Fall of X because one particular X-Men character has been tying pretty heavily into this one by Jerry Dugan. This has been a pretty interesting run so far, and there's a big event occurring in X-Men issue 26 and Invincible Iron Man issue 10. Interesting seeing how that goes down. Monty is too, apparently. Have Jean Grey issue 1 by Louise Simonson, Bernard Chang on artwork here. Most of these Fall of X titles are miniseries, with the exception of X-Men and Invincible Iron Man, of course. Dark X-Men, I think, is 5 issues. Alpha Flight, I think, is 5 issues. I think this is 4. This next one, Realm of X, I think is 4 issues. Deals with some of the characters in another realm, a la the realms that Asgard talks about. 9 realms and all that. And how to make their way home. So we'll see how it goes. Have not read this one quite yet. And more Jerry Dugan goodness. Have Uncanny Avengers issue 1. I believe this is 5 issues. So that's what I have for Marvel, DC, and Independent. Let's move on to my new segment within this segment. Let's move on to highlights. So, by the way, these were comics released the weeks of August 16th, 23rd, and 30th. This is my first highlight. This is the 1 in 10 variant for Void Rivals issue 3. This is the latest series by Robert Kirkman. This has Lorenzo De Felici on artwork. This is a gorgeous looking cover. Preferred it to the standard, so I picked it up. Don't want to spoil anything for those who are unaware of the big twist that has occurred for this series, but for those who pay attention to solicitations, you know there's a big book coming out in October. Kirkman has been on various comic news outlets, including some national news outlets, I believe, about his announcement of his acquisition. And this series is loosely tying into it after that first issue twist. So we'll see how it goes. It's been a lot of fun on its own so far. Next highlight, we have Miss Marvel, the New Mutant, part of the Fall of X. This has, and I might mispronounce her name, so I apologize. This has Iman Vellani, the actress who portrays Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel for the MCU, co-writing this. Why is she the New Mutant? Well, read, for better or for worse, Amazing Spider-Man of the current series, issue 26, Fallen Friend, and X-Men The Hellfire Gala 2023 to find out what's going on. This is cover A. This is the Women of Marvel variant. this story is much more than the hype surrounding it. It is so good, and it is wonderful to have a fellow geek writing this. That wonderful actress actually went to her hometown comic book store and signed every single copy that was available for this comic, just out of the kindness of her heart. And according to the owner of that shop, she really is a true geek, and everything you see on screen, that is the real person. So it's always great to hear that. Have the wonderful Art Germ variant. Have the Miss Marvel issue 1 tribute, reflecting and paying homage to the 2014 series first issue. We have the Uncanny X-Men issue 101 homage / tribute cover. If you're a little wary of checking this series out, just due to the controversy surrounding what transpired before, trust me, give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. There are a lot of heartfelt moments. This is a new status quo that we see Kamala adjusting to, and despite what happened prior, this series is making the most of it, and the characterization is spot on. Next set of highlights have the Darkest Hour issue 111 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is part 1 of a 12-part year-long event, and Melissa Flores has just been nailing it. She started off last year with issue 101 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers after it came back with legacy numbering with issue 100, and wow, I can't really say much about this other than wow. And we have the Green Ranger helmet variant. This is by Montez. Excellent. Next highlight. So, August 28th, 2023, that was the 30th anniversary of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The completed production version of Day of the Dumpster aired on that day on Fox, and it changed many of our lives. So this is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 30th anniversary special, one shot. Got a variety of creators on here, including Melissa Flores. You have Pero back for it. Many different artists on here. This is an anthology with multiple stories in there. It was spectacular. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers helped shape me when I was younger. Love my parents dearly, but they worked a lot, so TV helped raise me a little bit, for better or for worse, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was one of those television series. Gave pretty good morals despite the corniness, and that's something that's near and dear in my heart, so I picked this up. This is the Dan Mora cover. This is the homage cover, paying tribute to the Hamilton first issue that came out back in the 90s. This is the Jamal Campbell foil variant, paying homage to the 2016 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series, their premiere issue, and this is the Green Ranger cover. This is gorgeous, paying tribute to the great Jason David Frank, who unfortunately passed away last year. So it's fitting that he is given some love, and not just one of the covers, but I believe there are two. There's 1 in 30 with his multiple transformations that I'm gonna track down. But yeah, so that's all I have for y'all. Hope you enjoy my new highlight section. Definitely check out Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 111 if you can track down some copies. Check out the 30th anniversary special. Definitely check out Miss Marvel, the New Mutant. If you are sitting on Void Rivals, do not. But thanks for watching. Stay healthy, Stay safe, be well.